Hello and welcome back to another Walking Dead video, and today I want to talk about the forgotten variant walker in the Walking Dead universe. And what I'm talking about exactly is the post-credit scene of World Beyond Season 2 and what it set up for Daryl Dixon, and then Daryl Dixon never answered it. So what we got in World Beyond's post-credit scene was seeing a new variant, which was the first variant we ever saw in The Walking Dead, called a cohort, and it's a variant that naturally occurs according to the post-credit scene. They turn in seconds, they are slightly smarter, and they can run. And this post-credit scene was there to set up what Daryl Dixon was going to be about. It's going to reveal a bit more about the origin of the Walker virus, and reveal that there are variants out there. And then we got Daryl Dixon 2 years later, 3 years later, and we got none of that. All the variants in Daryl Dixon are man-made, and they're all from Madame Genet. Burners are a failed science experiment, and ampers/hybrids are what Madame Genet wanted to create. Runners never appear in that show, or natural-born runners, shall I say. Ampers are technically runners, but the runner in the post-credit scene of World Beyond is not an amper. This is a naturally occurring variant, which Daryl Dixon never answers. There's a lot about the World Beyond post-credit scene and World Beyond as a whole, which sets up so much, and none of it is ever answered, with them doing the main show, which is sound movies, which never happened. And this post-credit scene for Daryl Dixon also does a lot of setup with the potential origin and everything, and we never got it, which is really annoying. And it's quite shocking to see how drastically the plan for Daryl Dixon changed with what World Beyond was setting up to what we eventually got. The variant idea was kept, but it moved from being organic and naturally occurring variants to man-made variants. They decided to go down a completely different path with the story, which really does suck, because this would have been a really cool thing to see Daryl dealing with just a ton of variant walkers, and not it being the ampers, which we got. The ampers were cool, but it was not what we were promised at the end of World Beyond. Everything of World Beyond is a bit pointless, and it does feel like AMC and Scott Gimple want you to forget about World Beyond and forget that it's canon, with them being like, okay, you can watch The Ones Who Live, but you don't need to watch World Beyond, and them taking their time in episode 1 of The Ones Who Live to explain everything, so you don't need to go back and watch that show. And it seems like this black sheep almost of the Walking Dead franchise, where AMC and Scott Gimple just being like, just ignore it, because World Beyond promised so much, and this cohort was one of them. It's a shame that the one and only time we see a cohort walker is in a post-credit scene, and that is it. It is really weird how they could have just not put it in, and with Daryl now leaving France, we are never going to see this variant walker, and we're probably maybe going to see some variants still in Daryl Dixon, but they are not going to be anywhere near the level of the variants or the ampers. They might have a maybe slightly different type of walker in Spain. As I said, they could have a walker that's more active at night and kind of hides in the day. That'd be a really cool idea. But the variant stories are done, and that's what we got instead of what we were promised. And it's really annoying, because I kind of forgot about it. And then I remembered, and then I was like, yeah, AMC are trying to hide the fact they promised proper variant walkers that are runners, and some sort of reveal about the origin or the wildfire virus. It's really annoying, because it really does seem like Scott Gimple and AMC just have no plan, and they're just throwing anything at the wall that looks cool. And the variant idea looked cool when they teased it, and they're like, oh, we don't want to do this anymore. We'll keep the variants, but we'll change it drastically to what they originally planned. It's really annoying. It's clear maybe Scott Gimple shouldn't be in charge. He has no clue how to build a world. He's great at writing maybe smaller episodes, but he's not a good franchise manager. He cannot connect. All these shows feel very disconnected, and it doesn't really feel like a proper universe. And that is my rant over. I just wanted to make a quick video talking about the variants that the Walking Dead universe kind of wants you to forget, so you're reminded that Daryl Dixon was originally going to be a so much cooler show with natural variants and an origin story for the virus, and we just never got any of that. But that's it for me today, so thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you later.